A very good afternoon to everybody. For the semester one and three students, we are organizing this academic writing workshop. And every year we normally do this workshop after the students have written their answers. So a real-time writing, if you are told in advance that we are going to analyze your answers, then you are more conscious how naturally you are writing in university exams. In that natural environment, you have written your answers. They are evaluated and analyzed by the teachers. And where normally unconsciously or subconsciously you are making mistakes, that will be highlighted. So it will be more about error analysis. It will not be about appreciating the work, but seeing where improvements are required. So that will be highlighted. So Vaidehi Madam will talk about some of the highlights of the common errors which are made by the students when they write their answers. So there may be some samples of some students might be taken. Maybe your sample is not taken, but it doesn't mean that you are not making that mistake. You may be also making the same mistake, but here in the sample that is not included. But you should become conscious that such kind of an error am I making or not when I am writing my answers. When students write their answers in the exam, they are not very consciously observing their language. They are more into answering the question. So your mind is occupied with the text which you are analyzing, the character on which you are writing. These are all literature answers. And so unconsciously, some mistakes, very common errors that we have seen, which normally Indians make, common errors which are identified by Indians, like there is an expression one of the. After one of the, whatever noun comes, it is always plural. But normally everybody makes that mistake. One of the singular only is there. One of the student. It is one of the students. So, but that is the common. So this kind of common mistakes are made, and students are not aware also that they are making such errors in writing the grammar structures in a proper order. So they become aware about such things, and what you are supposed to do when you write your answers, that you have to manage your time in such a manner that last 15 minutes you get to go through your entire answer book. So it is a very difficult task. As many times we say that our answer papers are just like our vomits, and going through the vomit again is the terrible thing. Nobody can bear to critically analyze the vomit. You will start a flush and do away with the vomit. Nobody ever likes to look back at the vomit. So it is very tough. Most of you can't bear your own writing. So people will always say that I don't have time to see. I wanted to see, but I was not having a time. Actually, it is not the wanting of time. It is what we know, what we have done in the answer book, and we don't want to relive that experience again. It is good that 2 hours have ended, and I have done with this paper. So make that habit that always read, and then see from this what you learned today. From that angle, you try to see if you can rectify some of the mistakes, some of the errors in your writing. Then it will really help in improving the quality of your answer. But one important habit: always read your entire answer book at the end before submitting in last 15 or 20 minutes. So in first session today, we will have uh, Vaidehi Madam talking about the things. Also will share briefly the experience, and then we'll have a small workshop mode where this time we are going to introduce this AI tool, and with the help of AI, do self-improvement. How you can do the assessment of your writing on your own with the help of ChatGPT or Claude or similar kinds of AI tool. That small workshop we will do in the second part today. So first, let me invite Vaidehi Madam to start with this.
A very good afternoon, respected Sir Megha Madam and all dear students. So, so far we have gone through all the answer papers written by semester 1 and semester 3, and we have analyzed some of the errors which you are making without knowing that you are making such kind of errors. And these errors may be very simple, but still you will find that it can make a kind of a mess in your paper. So it's very necessary that we go through all those errors and find out that how we can improve it. Yes, and there is always a scope of improvement. Now whenever we are going for examinations, you all must be reading a lot, right? But only reading doesn't bring quality answers, right? We need a kind of an organization also, that how you are organizing your answers. Sir gave one of the examples of vomit. Yeah, so this is how organization is very necessary. Otherwise, the answers will look mess. So let us go through the simple errors which you are making. So basically, I'm going to talk about error analysis. First, I'm going to discuss what are the errors you are making, and then I'm going to give you certain tips and tricks which you can use in your paper and a kind of practice for improvement. So the first, I think, first or one of the common error which has been found not only in semester 1 but semester 3 students answer papers also is spelling errors and capital letter. Can you find out any mistake in the title I have given? Yes. So that is what we are going to see. So first of all, we can, these are the sample papers. I've taken some of the sample papers from this year's internal exam, and we can see here what kind of spelling errors are being made. Yes, a kind of a simple spelling of a setting. Yes, again, there is just a minor error, just one letter is misplaced, and the meaning changes. Similarly, here also we can see Christianity. But again, one of the letter is included, and again the spelling is changing. So overall, if you look at the spelling errors, especially when you are writing some of the important words, it gets highlighted a lot. For example, Christianity is, I think, one of the important term when we are talking about the unique tale of the dove. So if someone is reading your answers, definitely that this will get highlighted, that the important words are again having a certain kind of error. In the third example, we can also see that very simple spellings like there and there. Again, there also a kind of a error is seen. Yes, so these spellings are also very necessary that we know when we are using there and there. uh, Also how grammatically we are you know writing down this particular words. Second is about capital letter, and I've just taken one example here, but it doesn't mean that everyone is not making such mistakes. So many of the papers we have found out that the first letter is small, rather than we know, like I think so we all have studied this in school, right? That when we are writing down the name of someone, uh, name of place, everywhere we find that the first letter should be capital. Now, these are very simple rules. Yeah? It's not that I'm teaching you something which you don't know. Now, we all know. But as in when we are writing in the flow, it happens that we make certain kind of errors. Next, this time I found out in both the classes because the answers are incomplete. Yeah, I'll tell you certain tips regarding it later on. But here we can find out that when we look at the organization of your answers and we see that okay, something is left in between. It kindly shows that the person might not be knowing the content because it's leaving in between. In semester 1, it is happening that students are leaving 2 pages and then going with the another answer. So in case the answer is remaining incomplete, why you are leaving the two pages in between. So again, this incompleteness, you know, doesn't look good. Also, one of the thing I discussed with I think some three students that due to time constraint they are leaving the answers. For that we will talk later how we can do that. Second is handwriting and confusion. Yes, I know that you are writing in a very quick way because you have this time limit and you have to finish your answers. Now, sometimes it happens that whatever you are writing is not clearly visible. At least it should be readable. So those who are reading your answers, even if you are writing in a hurry, it should be visible. Another thing we have found out that one of the answer paper had this kind of an error that the person is writing R, but whenever another person is reading the paper, it looks like S. So here we can see that the spelling is written, it's right, but the R is seen as S. Now the entire paper is written in a very correct manner. There is no another error in this paper I have found out apart from this. So what happens is that content is very good, organization is very good. Just one minor error that the letters are not visible properly. That makes a kind of a mess in the paper. So those who are reading will find out spelling mistake. In a way, it is not. It is just the confusion between R and S. So definitely the students are being told to practice that particular letters. But be very careful when you are writing. Many other papers I've seen that in when you are writing introduction, a C somewhere disappears. So again, it remains like a spelling mistake, but it is not. But just the writing style is that someone who is reading will find out an error in it, and leaving blank space for no reason. Now this is one of the thing I found out in semester one students a lot. I think it might be a BA mentality of writing down the answers, but again it looks incomplete. Now if you see both the pages, and the answer is not incomplete. The answer somewhere is continuing, but still after writing the two paragraphs, the entire space is not being used. Again next page the answer is getting continued, but again the space at the end remains as it is. So again it looks like things are incomplete. You might have forgotten to write something or to draw something. So again it the organization doesn't give a certain kind of a foolproof image. It looks like there are pieces and fragments you are writing. With this, one of the error I will also discuss is about writing complex sentences. You know, normally we have that, let's write some complex sentences. It might look good in the answers, or maybe our habit of writing is such. But try to write simple answers, simple sentences, active voice. So simple sentences you will be able to put your thoughts into expression in an easier way rather than writing complex sentences. You can use connectors like and, but, right? All these connectors can be used, and then the sentences can be formed. So these are some of the errors which I have found out. Now let's talk about tips and tricks which you can use, and some of you have already used it in your paper. First of all, I think this question, remains intact for all the students. I found out that many a times me and ma'am used to come and tell you that you just have this many minutes, go through that, uh, do this, yeah. And every time we have told you that here we would give you 5 minutes extra, and we have given, yes. But in university exam, it's not going to happen like this. How you can divide the time? Many students were asking the how we can divide the time. Now you can do one thing, that the first, I think, mistake we all, I would say we all, because once upon a time we also had done the same mistake. Yeah, what we do that we are very enthusiastic at the beginning of our paper, so we will give our entire 1 hour to the first question. Never do that. Yes, I know There would be excitement, but never do that. Just give 45 minutes to the first two questions. Yeah, one question 45 minutes, another question 45 minutes, and then decrease the time and come to 30 minutes. Then at the end you will have that 5 minutes to go through the entire paper. I know how much you know, yeah, but just 45 minutes, not more than that. So that you have to remember. Then your answers will look complete. Another thing, I think I have discussed this with semester 3 students, is that you are writing the answers, you are about to finish. Yes, you are about to finish the answer and the bell is ringing. Yes, immediately note down the conclusion, that you are concluding the answer. Don't let it be just as it is. At least write down one sentence that it looks like you are concluding your answer. If you are leaving in between like that, again, as I said, it looks incomplete. So you have to be very careful about this timing. Especially students who are writing well, they are also facing this problem, that they are writing very good answers, but then at the end, again, it creates a kind of a mess. And attempt all the questions. It has been found out that semester one students, they are not attempting all the questions. All the four questions you have to write. Yes, because again, the score depends on how well you are writing all the four answers. So don't think that okay, it's fine if you just skip the one answer. Don't do that. Use of original quotes. Yes, make a list. Take that quotes. I think I've said this to semester one students as well. Yes, make a list for all the units. Note down at least one quote which you are going to use in your answer. Then in between the explanation of your answer, you can use that quote. And again, it will give a very good organization to your answer. Here we can see one of the paper in which student has used this original quotes. Use a kind of a different pen for it, so that it can emerge out of your answer. Now, one of the paper I gone through in semester one, I found out that the student has written original quotes, everything, but all in same color. Now what happens, that it just look like you're just writing the explanation. It doesn't come out in a different way. If you write down, let's say, the quotes with the black pen and the entire explanation with the blue pen, you will find out that the quotes are getting highlighted. Next, and very important, is use of infographics. And I've seen that semester 3 students, this is the third time you're going to go for this final exams. Still, many of you are not using infographics. And on the other hand, we found out that semester 1 students are going to appear for the first time. So for the first two papers, it happened that they did not had idea of what is infographics. Yes, but later on, when they find out that yes, it is something in which you can write down your answers better, you can organize your answers better. And the last two papers, they actually started using infographics in their paper, and that is a very good improvement. That just by observing others' paper, you get the idea that what new you are going to do. And many of the students, I've just taken some of the examples, but many of the students have used infographics, and I think that would be a kind of a very good highlight for your answer. Not just writing down the simple points, rather than show it in a creative way, whatever you are knowing. So that is going to be very good for your preparation. Many of the students are being also advised to make certain kind of infographic in the book, so that you can just refer to it later on. So here are some tips to improve English writing skills. See, normally what happens is that we do write certainly something as a kind of a hobby, if we are writing a diary, or some task if it is given in the class. So normally the writing style is, as sir said, it's very just going with the flow. You're not focusing much on it. But when we come down to academic writing, we have to focus on certain kind of things. Yes, and your answers which you are going to write, is a part of your academic writing. So here are certain kind of tips, which will help to improve. Yes, many a times, it is observed that the story, the content of something, but when you write down, the content is very less. I think many of you have got these comments from us that your content is less. Increase your content. Now, for that, it is necessary that we read a lot. Yes, first our reading is less. That is why when we are expressing, again, the content gets concise, and we need to increase that. So read, and then practice writing. Then review whatever you are writing whenever you are writing. It's not only that you write in a pen or paper, then only you review it, but when you write your blogs also, go through that and see how you are writing your blogs, which punctuation marks you are using. Many a times it is observed that technology gives us this, that if there is a spelling error, a certain kind of sign will be shown. But still I found that many of you don't take that seriously. Now all those things, what happens that makes us, our mind, conditioned that okay, this is only the right spelling, because we are not improving it at that particular time. The result is that when you write down in the exam, again that spelling comes into existence. So this is a kind of a practice you have to do there. Whenever you are writing, you go through all these spellings, what you are writing, which punctuation mark you are using. So all these things has to be done. And as sir said, that at last 5 minutes, none of us read our papers. Yeah, because a kind of a hurry that we just want to finish it. But why it is necessary to read? So that we can find out that whatever mistakes we are making in the first paper, we don't repeat it again. But hardly, we read our paper. When we give you this answer papers to review, we tell you that which are the recommended papers. Many a time I have seen that people just go through the recommended papers and not their paper. So it is necessary first to read our paper also, that what errors we are making, and then we go through the papers which are recommended and find out that what are the things we can use. So this much was from my side. Yes, so keep practicing so that you can improve and do a better performance in your university exam. So all the best for your exam. And now I would like to request Megha madam to come and give a brief error analysis about your paper. Thank you.
Again, good afternoon, everyone. While Vaidehi Madam and Sir covered most of the instructions, but again, I would like to share some remarks based on my observation during paper checking. Okay, so first I would like to discuss that what is academic writing. Okay, because this workshop is based on that. So as we all know that academic writing is totally different from the informal writing. So here we have to use the formal writing, and for that we have to keep in mind that as a student, when you are writing paper, okay, at that time you have to use formal language, proper vocabulary, and some, we can say, important points. Okay, for example, proper structures for that, as a student, you have to follow. And for that, 3 points we have to keep in mind, that you have to cover main points. Second one is that the sub points, and the third one is the key points. That all these points you have to cover in your answers. Okay. As Vaidehi Madam mentioned that in your main content you have to use some of the important quotes, statement, we can say years, for example, Booker Prize, or you can say the other years, death, birth date, and the years. And then also use some kinds of original lines from the poetry when you are writing analysis of the any particular poem. Okay, then write your answer in the third person way. Okay, this you all have to focus. Now the next point that I would like to discuss with you is that your errors, okay, that I have found during paper checking. So So the first one is that some kinds of an errors in the grammar, okay, and we can say some kinds of an error in the spelling. So make sure that in your titles you don't have to make a mistake. Okay, write a proper spelling, correct spelling. Okay, then highlight some important measure points. For example, introduction, conclusion. So you have to write that point with black pen. Use black pen there. Okay, then avoid repetition. Okay, many students just try to write some kinds of in a one particular point twice or thrice. Okay, so try to avoid these kinds of repetitions. Okay, then need to use some kinds of in a proper content. You have to give your answer, or you can say you have to write your answer that what you can find it out in the question. Okay, do not write a general answer, write a summary or other things. Okay, then avoid the habit of leaving unnecessary we can say space, okay, in your answer. Use proper structure. Okay, then the third point that is that what is the ideal structure, or we can say the proper form for the long answer. Okay, so for that three steps you have to follow. The first one is introduction, the second one is the main content, and the third one is the conclusion. So in the very first step, introduction, you have to write introduction about the author as well as the text. Okay, in the main content you have to follow or we can say use infographics as Vaidehi madam mentioned, then original quotes, then statement and the dialogues and the other things you can add, and you can write 5 to 6 paragraphs regarding the main content, and at the end in the conclusion you have to write one small paragraph, 5 to 6 lines. Okay, and compulsory you have to conclude your answer. Okay, so this is the perfect form, or you can say the proper form for the long answer. Then at last, I would like to give some tips. Okay, first one is use infographics. Use color pen, black and blue compulsory. And when you are draw some kinds of an infographic at the time, use pencils. Okay, and use properly. Then start new answer from the new pages. Okay, follow proper format for the long answer. Read a lot. Okay, while reading, just try to prepare one or two model answer. Then you can just use the same model answer for your final exam. Okay, then time management is very important. What happened that question number 1 and 2 we can find properly, but in the last two questions we can find a very small content. Okay, so at that time you can get some kinds of less mark. So try to focus on that. Then be creative, use your creative mind, not just doing some kinds of cramming. Okay, then eye-catchy answers, it is very very important. You have to just use a proper organization. Then make a proper paragraph. In one or two students answers I can find out that a very long paragraph I can find it out. So make a 3 paragraph in 1 page. Okay, then write some kinds of your main point in the bulleted point. Okay, with blue black pen. Then good handwriting is also very important. Okay, just try to do some kinds of work for that. You have right now 3 or 4 days, so you can just improve your handwriting. Some kinds of practice you can do. Then write a specific answer. Do not write a general answer. Okay, and be calm and the positive in the classroom during exam. Okay, that is very important. So here I would like to conclude with one we can say quote by Thomas Edison, that genius is 1% we can say inspirations and 99% preparation. So now you have a time, so you have to do some kinds of more preparations. So hope that all these instructions, guidance, and the tips will help a lot in your university exam. Okay, all the best and do your best. Thank you, all of you.
Okay, so coming to the final part of our this workshop, we want to do practically a few things, and in your Google Class notification, you might have got something, so you can open the Google Class in your mobile phone also. I will share a screen from here also. You can have a look at it. Able to got it in Google Classroom? Okay. Few links you might have received. In that link you will get a Word document from Google Drive. That is a normal general rubric about how you can do the improvement. What are the descriptive analysis that you can see there? That we used to do every year. This time we are moving ahead and trying to use the AI tool for self-improvement instead of the rubric based activity that we were doing up till now. So now we have some interesting tools like ChatGPT, which can help us in a better way than rubric. So we are upgrading the things to that. So first was this the rubric, which will let us have an overview generally to see how to improve the quality of our essay type answers and descriptive answers that normally the arts students write, and how they can work on to improve this. You can maximize this. Kanshya, this you can make it big so you can see a little bit larger. So what can be our simple parameters like correctness of English language? Very important point. So grammar errors, are we making simple grammar common errors or not? That we have to have a look at it. And as we have said that we do make normal mistakes. The Indians normally make some common errors in dealing with English language, and that these are unconscious errors. So we are not aware when we are making that, but if we do rereading, it can be rectified. So that part we have to take care of. Content of your answer, when we think of quality of the answer, one thing you have to answer the question. That is very important. That there is a question that you are answering. So always come again and again to whether you are justifying what is asked or you are writing what you want to write. So that you have to be careful that you are not supposed to just write what you want to write, but you are answering a question. That many times students forget that we are here to write an answer. So always start with writing few words of the question. You're not supposed to write entire question at the beginning. If you can manage time and write a question, it is a good habit. But many a time you may have a scarcity of time, so it is not advised to write the question. But if you write, you will become conscious that I am answering this question. That is a very important point of content, that this answer I do. So once you go to conclusion, you are justifying that how you have explained that question. That should be in the concluding part. The another important points to increase the quality of writing is to use quotes from original text and quotes from some critics also. So if you have at least gone through one or two research articles or some names of the critics might have come during the discussion, then those names, their name of the article or book, if you can remember, that can be used. But at least one or two quotes from each and every text, original text, and one or two quotes from the renowned critic. Don't make your own critics. So and so some Christian names you remember. Normally people go for Christian names, some Christian names, and so has said in so and so books. So don't reinvent the title of the text also, articles, and the name of the writers also. There you may be there. If somebody will do cross checking, it will prove that you are trying to cheat the examiner, and then you may lose lots of marks in that. So remember some of the names. That's why we used to tell that refer to some articles during presentations. Also, you have referred to many good articles. Some names, if you can recall, you can use that. That will add value to the quality of your answers. Organization, as Vaidehi madam also has said, how you organize your answer. Your handwriting also is already highlighted, that how normally in I, E, O, A or R, you tend to make some mistakes. So that you can have a look at it. So this is this rubric. And we used to work on this, but now we are not working on this part, but we want to now incorporate the point of AI to see that. And practically, we want to see today what work can be done. Now, when we look at this idea of assessment and other things here, we remember the pedagogy of Benjamin Bloom. Bloom's the taxonomy is a very renowned idea about learning, teaching and learning. Those who have completed B.Ed, you might be well aware about Bloom's taxonomy. It is a very well-known thing where from memorizing the things to creating the things, how you rise the ladder of pyramid in that level. So that is how it is seen. Now in that ladder of pyramid, or moving from memorizing the thing to understanding to analyzing to applying to creating, when you move at the pinnacle or the top of the pyramid, where you are able to create something on your own, you are able to think in a newer way. If that is achieved, it is good. When you write the analysis of your answer, if you can strike something new which is your finding and you conclude with that, it is always a good idea to do that. In that aspect, there is one another dimension of Benjamin Bloom. I have shared this screen. This article, which is talking about 2 sigma problem, wherein Benjamin Bloom has identified that if you want to improve the learning curve of the learners, this is how it is explained, that there are this the final third curve, which is the higher curve. In all these graphics you can see this. If you want to lead to that, then what is required is one-to-one tutoring. One-to-one tutoring is required. Now we can imagine if you are even 50, including both the classes, then one-to-one means we require 50 teachers, or whatever teachers are there, they are able to give you hours where you can do one-to-one tutoring, which is nearly impossible task. In a mass teaching or large number of students, one-to-one tutoring is very difficult task. So though it was identified theoretically that one-to-one tutoring is the best to improve the learning capacities of the learners, after trying the traditional mode, then trying the another mode, which is known as mastery learning. The second one, the middle one, if you see, it is about mastery learning. The first one is about conventional classroom environment. Conventional classroom. The second one is mastery, where assessment. This is what we do. This kind of workshops is also a part of mastery learning, where the answer books or writing is analyzed and people talk. You do thinking activity and the discussion happens in the class, or you do online test and then the online test is discussed. These are all part of mastery learning there. But still, if you want to go beyond there, then this point is one-to-one tutoring. That becomes it. Now it is identified that this one-to-one tutoring is possible with the help of AI tools. So how can we use AI tool to do one-to-one tutoring? So that is our pedagogical idea that we want to do. Though we generally tell you that these are the things that you are doing, then yet everything will not reach to everybody. But let us do one experiment today and see whether this one-to-one tutoring with the help of AI tool helps you in improving the quality of your answers or not. First is to identify the mistakes that you are doing and then to improve on those mistakes. Some of the mistakes are identified. There may be many more mistakes also. But still one thing is missing out in when we do error analysis is this, that how can we give you exact example that this is an ideal answer? How can we do that? Is very difficult. In literature, there is no ideal answer. There are no, it keeps on changing from person to person. And so to have only one ideal answer in literature answers is very difficult. But still students will be telling, I have written this sentence. I have, for example, begin my answer in this manner. If I want to make it better, how can I do? Now, as a teacher, we will fail to give you something very tangible where you can say this way, it will be good answer. There we find that AI tool can do that, wherein teachers to 50 students sitting down with them and telling that this is how you have started your answer, not in this manner, but in this manner. Nearly impossible for human beings to do. But that one can do. Then you have come to the middle paragraph. And you want to say that now at the middle part, I am answering this question. What should come in the middle paragraph? I have written this. Is it proper or not? If I want to make it better than what I have done, what should I do? At that point, when it comes, then again there is a problem. These are all the aspects of one-to-one tutoring that we can see there. This all points are very important. Then you are concluding and you are saying that I am answering this question. I am answering this question, and how can be or what can be the ideal conclusion of this answer? I have given this as an introduction. I have done this in the middle part. What can be an ideal conclusion? Now, if you all come and ask us that, you write and tell us that what can be the ideal answer. If you say that these are all mistakes, then you write one answer book and tell us that what is an ideal answer. Then it is again very challenging for teachers also. Very challenging for teachers. Now, this is a huge gap where a human teacher will not be able to satisfy many of the things which learners wanted from them when you go for academic writing or answer writing. So this gap, can this gap be filled by AI tool or not? That is our concern. Now, that we'll try to see today whether that can happen or not. And we'll ask you whether are you satisfied with this or not. If you are satisfied and if you got some clue, then as a lifelong learner, it will be helpful to you. As a lifelong, these are not for scoring more marks in exam. These tips and tricks are not only for scoring more marks, but to learn how to write in a better way. That is our goal. That lifelong writing that you do wherever, you keep on improving the quality of writing. So how this can be used? So what we have devised, what we are planning to do here is something like this. In the Google Classroom, we have put the other links, like there is one Google form given there. And this will explain us what you are supposed to do as a part of workshop activity. Okay, so here, first of all, you will have to upload the image of the answer on which you are going to work today. We have divided you into 3 parts. We have divided. Likewise, you will work. For example, second point will say that roll number 1 to 8 in both the classes shall work on introductory paragraphs in whichever answer you have selected from whichever answer. On your one answer you have to work. Later on you can continue working on all the answers you have written. I think around 20 answers in 5 days. 4 answers in each paper. In 5 papers you have written 20 answers. You can work on all 20 answers also. But right now, any one answer book, one question, roll number 1 to 8 will work on introductory paragraph. 9 to 16 will work on middle paragraphs. Pick up 2 paragraphs from the middle part, and the remaining students will work on concluding paragraphs. If you quickly complete your first part, you can move to the middle and the third part also. So whichever paragraph you are working on, you have to take a photograph of that and upload here that I am working on. This is my answer. So whatever is your answer on which you want to work, that part you will attach here. The same part then you will type in ChatGPT. Second stage will be the same part. Now you will quickly type either in mobile device or in the lab. We have made arrangement for PCs also. So there you have to go, and that 1 or 2 paragraphs you have to type there. And what prompt will you give to ChatGPT? What will you ask ChatGPT to do? Which is very important, which we have written here also. You have to copy and paste this prompt. If you will not ask properly, then you will not get proper answer, and then you will say that, well, this AI tool is not helping. It is perhaps not helping because you have not asked the proper question. So one important thing about AI tool pedagogically is we have to teach students how to ask questions to ChatGPT, how to ask prompts or how to write prompts to the AI tool, that we can get the exact answer we are looking for. So what is our prompt? Prompt for ChatGPT, which is to be given along with 1 or 2 paragraphs of your handwritten answer, which you have to type in ChatGPT. So your prompt will be, I am postgraduate student. So first thing we have to do with AI tool is that we have to tell them who am I and what I expect from you. That is what we have to do. So we have to train the machine. We have to train the machine, and we have to tell them that you have to do this for me and I am this. Then we may get some nearly good answer for this. So I write, I am postgraduate student. I want my answer to be evaluated on, we are thinking of one parameter writing skills, academic writing parameter skills, and that is CEFR guidelines. Common European framework. These are the guidelines for IELTS and TOEFL exams. Those who go for foreign countries, they have to pass, get some bands on CEFR guidelines. So we are telling them, evaluate. I want my answers to be evaluated on CEFR guidelines. This is my introductory or middle or concluding paragraph of the answer to the question, and then you will write question also. This is my answer to this question. So then in the inverted comma, you will write the question. Question also will be there, as you have pinned up the question paper also here. Had you not pinned up, then you might have lost the question. What is the question? You also cannot identify. If you read the answer, you can't tell with guarantee that this was the question which I was answering. But we have pinned up the question, so you can easily see that this was the question which I was writing. So you will put your question also there. Tell me, where does this answer stand in A1 to C2 level of CEFR guidelines? And according to these guidelines, C2 is highest, A1 is lowest. So if you get A1, don't be happy. A1 is lowest, C2 is highest according to CEFR guidelines, like 8 band. TOEFL bands are 8 plus C2 is parallel to this IELTS and TOEFL band. Also suggest how to improve the quality of the answer for C2 level. Also suggest how to improve the quality of the answer for C2 level. Your answer, 1 or 2 paragraphs, then you have to give there in double inverted comma. After that, you start typing your one or two paragraphs into this, and then you see the response. In case you get a half response, again prompt that, okay, this response you have given, if I want to have C2 level for this, what can be the better way to write? Again ask. If you're still not satisfied, again ask something. 2-3 times keep on prompting in the same line to ChatGPT until you are satisfied that now this is a better answer. That way you have to see that. And then whatever response you get after 2 or 3 attempts, that you have to copy and paste here. That you have to copy and paste here. No screenshots, nothing, but you have to copy. Copy features are given now in ChatGPT. So you have to copy the entire response and to paste in this Google form. Then now from ChatGPT, write introductory or middle or conclusion, whichever paragraph you are working on. The level of answer shall be of C2 as per CEFR guidelines. This answer is written by postgraduate students, so maintain high academic level. So we'll tell ChatGPT that this is by this. So maintain high academic level for this and rewrite the same response that is generated earlier according to this for this level. Whatever you get, again you post here. So this is your second generation through ChatGPT that you are posting here, but you are changing your prompt slightly by insisting that this answer is written by postgraduate. So I want high academic level maintained in the writing. That I am now insisting to the machine to see there. Now, when you study this, one is your answer, which is now handy with you. One you get as a response generally when you ask, and third when you ask that I want high academic level of response. 3 responses you will get. And when you read and compare, what is your learning outcome? What do you learn from this when you do? So the next question will be about seeing this. Kindly choose the potential learning outcomes that you believe have been attained through this workshop activity. Please select as many as you feel reflect your learning from this particular exercise, as many as that you can see here, that you can work on. So enhanced writing skills, critical analysis proficiency, effective communication, genre awareness. That some of you are writing that Charles Dickens is a very good Irish poet. You're talking about a novel by Charles Dickens. If you're studying a poem by Charles Dickens and you write, that's fine. So genre awareness is still required, and you might not be aware that you have written this, that this poem, Hard Times, is a good poem. That you might not be aware that you who has written those things. Genre awareness is very important. Self-reflection skill. When you do this, you will self-reflect on your writing and the improved version of your writing. 2 things: your writing and the improved version of your writing. And few other grammar, syntax mastery, adaptation to audience. Here it is a PG student, so that audience and metacognitive awareness. In all these things, wherever you think there is some improvement that you have to tick mark. And then finally, encouraging students to articulate their learning outcomes after activity can lead to a more conscious and intentional approach to their ongoing development as writers and scholars. This is generally observed that if you allow students to work on their own writing and then think of what is the learning outcome, it can improve them as a writer, as a scholar also. Would you like to share anything else regarding your learning outcome? Apart from all this thing, any other thing, then you can type your things here. Make it a habit that whenever an optional question is given, you answer that also. Normally we say, what is insisted, let me answer that only. If it is optional, I don't have anything to say. Come out from that habit. It is said that if you want to, but if means you have to. As a PG student, as a postgraduate student of university, the if doesn't apply to you. It is for a layman. For them it is if, but for you it is necessary only. Whenever you appear in any of such questions, if there is an option, don't miss an opportunity to say something in such responses also. This you have to submit at the end of the work. So I hope you have understood the entire activity, what you are supposed to do. Any questions in your mind, you can ask. Any questions, any doubt what you are supposed to do, and then this form you have to fill. After the activity is done, you have to fill this form and submit this one. Any questions, queries regarding the things? Yes. Yes. Then you will compare that what I have written and what is this, because you already have given your conclusion also. So it will try to frame something from that conclusion, because you are giving your conclusion. So it will be narrowing down that the machine is supposed to think in that direction. Otherwise, it will give any conclusion. If you will not use prompt properly, and you will try to apply your own brains, then you will get wayward answer. So that's why we have drafted the prompt also. This is the prompt that you give, and give your paragraphs also, and then let us see how it is working. But AI is AI, it is live, so we never know what responses we will get. It will be learning for everybody, for us also, for you also, because when you work on the live platform, you never know what results we are going to get, favorable or unfavorable, positive or negative. In either way, it will be learning for everybody to see whether self-assessment can be done with the help of AI tool or not. What Benjamin Bloom wanted to say about one-to-one tutoring, can AI tool be useful for that or not? Then you will conclude after your activity is completed. Okay, so then we divide into two groups. One group will sit here, and one around 15 students can go in the lab and start working in a laptop also. So start distributing, and you have only 15 minutes to complete the work. Within 15 minutes, you have to complete the work, submit, and then come back again here to see the end result. Again, after 15 minutes, you have to return here. Okay, so start dispersing and moving across. Just you have to be very quick. Quickly you have to start moving. Those who want to go upstairs or here, those who are, you start working here also. We have kept around 15 pieces ready in the lab. If you have a good network here, you can sit here and start working also. Otherwise, in the lab environment, you can work. We have kept the lab ready here. So those who want to, you can move on and start working in the lab. Hello. In no, only 2 paragraphs on which you are working. That part only. Yes, yeah. Audio I am using from this. This you can put on the screen. Yeah. Pick up the best question. That sound might be going or not. That you have to, otherwise I will have to unmute this one. Yeah.
Unmute this.
Unmute
yeah. Okay.
This. Yeah.
Somebody can just check in YouTube. The sound
is going properly. Is it going now?
Okay, so we have
this group working here, and you can come on the table if it is not convenient here.
come here to work properly. It is not convenient, you can sit here. Hmm. Right now, use only that, ChatGPT. For this experiment, use only one tool. Later on, you can try other tools also. So read the instructions carefully and start working. You have 15 minutes, so you have to be little bit quick in doing your work. Pick up one small paragraph or two paragraphs to be typed and the work to be submitted. Just put a little bit brighter light on your mobile screen so I can capture here. This also. And it is getting recorded also, so for future reference also we can use this. ChatGPT has now the app also. If you have not downloaded, you can download the app and work on that, or the browser also you can work on. If any questions or queries, you can ask. Yeah, you can put this upstairs one. Take it upstairs. This you can remove. In this one, upstairs. Here, you change this to upstairs. Lab, yeah. In studio, in StreamYard, you give the link to upstairs. So upstairs things are visible in the YouTube. Right now it is this. No? Change this, remove this now. And lab one you put, or the group one you put. Group and both the classes you put now. Lab and class here in the display. Lab and the class. Remove this. Hmm. So I hope things are going on well. Yes. Any doubt or any question you can ask.
Sir, if everyone is going having middle part, are they supposed to do the wall
Yes, so going on well here. I can make full screen. This. So what was your prompt? You are giving the prompt? Yes. Okay. This and your answer you have not copied, you're still in this prompt. You have to also copy your this one in this prompt. You have to also give your answer. I have given before, sir. Okay. Have you generated the response? Yes, sir. There is in the chat. Let me see. Okay, still you can try to scroll down. Try to get exactly the answer also you got. No? Okay, okay, fine. Okay, now you can compare. You have not started yet. Here, this one. PC you can work. No. Here also. You have not started this. So you maybe you have never come to work in lab, perhaps. Have you not come ever to work in lab? So then you might be aware how to. No, but PC you can open, no?
Yes, I'm using PC, but before ChatGPT is not logging into my mobile phone.
Yeah, no, but here you have to log into this. Here also you can also log in. Have you not worked ever in laptop? Response. Yeah. You given your answer also?
Yes.
Okay. 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 So you have original and then revised. Okay.
So you have this word like incorporates. Yes. That is incorporates is a word which then renowned skillfully employs. These are the words which we are missing. So if you add these words, it becomes of a good quality. Allegorical weapon. That was the question that you are writing. Okay. And where is your answer? And this is your answer. And this is it. C2 level, you have to do this. Now you have to ask that prepare an answer for me for this one and see what it is doing. So what was your prompt?
As what you said, sir.
Write into the paragraph to the question. This okay. So how you get the literary tapestry of Elizabethan age woven with the brilliant threads of. So it has used the semantic field of this tapestry. Scroll down. Okay, now again you can prompt to see what else is it up to C2 level or not, and then you get your response. You can also think of some of the words and then ask ChatGPT to write a personalized learning outcome in a better manner. Now it's working, no?
Yeah.
Okay. You're still not working on this. An example of how you might enhance your paragraph. Okay, so what are the points of enhancement you get?
Grammar and mechanics, detail and depth, and language complexity, clarity and structure.
Okay, so as soon as your work is done, come down in the classroom. Okay, all of you, be quick in coming down. Okay.
or not? Hello. Ah, okay. Yes. So yeah, what was the question?
Sir, my question was that in the last question you have written that encouraging students to articulate their learning outcomes after the activity can lead to a more conscious and intentional approach to their ongoing development as writers and scholars. Would you like to share anything else regarding your learning outcome? So, sir, my question is that while like going through this learning outcome, I have felt certain things that it uh, deals with our written answers in a way it tries to give language in a more specific way. So my question is that do we have to write our learning outcome or apart from that other
You have to write about one learning outcome and this experience also.
experience?
Like Benjamin Bloom said that there is a one-to-one learner. So in that context, do you think that this can be really useful as a one-to-one learner, as a one-to-one tutoring or not? Keeping that in mind, you can give your overall feedback. Hmm?
Everyone, ChatGPT is giving the scale B1, B2 to everyone. Like your answer, your paragraph is in regarding to that scale. So it is not differing. So in everyone's case, they are giving
Normally,
same
it
kind
is coming down to B1, B2.
So
Yeah. Okay.
is there any chance? Like how can they are not providing specific like improving?
Ask them. This is B1, B2. If I want to write the same thing for C2 level, can you rewrite for me for the C2 level and see what answer you are getting, and then compare both the responses.
Sir, when I try to like put those things, like 3 to 4 my conclusion. So what I have felt that in initial part, the conclusion that were like very common, those, so it was showing B2 level. So when I last put a prompt of my answer of the concluding part of one of my answers, so it showed that your answer goes beyond B2, high to B2 level and low to C2 level. So rather giving the same response to everyone, it differs. Like in my case, I have given 3 prompts and three answers of my question papers. So they it is giving different answers, and it is giving the like what should be the correct structure, how the use of language should be there, what punctuation mark should be there, and it is giving the rewritten answers of that as well.
Okay, so a few things that you can see here. That one, theoretically, it is explaining you that what you need to do, but you also want to know exactly how to do that. So you have one sample as your answer, and you ask that, okay, you told that grammar should be improved, vocabulary should be improved, but how to do that? So give me one sample answer. So it will give you the sample answer, and then you compare both the response and see how the language is enhanced, how it is structured, how the flow of idea is given. That way you do one-to-one tutoring, or you get a chance of learning on that. Theoretically is one thing, and practice or sample answer is another one. As we told earlier, that if all students come to teachers and tell that write a sample conclusion for me. So for teachers it is impossible, but AI tool can do that. But okay, like C2 give me, like B2 give me, then let me compare what is it to be like B2 or C2, and that way we learn that okay, this is the level of writing, and this way I can improve on this. You have last 10 minutes now. Okay? Complete and then submit your work. Yeah.
And there's neoclassical in the paper of this neoclassical period. The religious allegory, the first question, and I just copy this conclusion and the ChatGPT, and it's promoting like B2 level. And also some of the points that I have mentioned over here, and we promote that write it in a C2 level. So as you said, that it's high.
Yes.
Some of the points that I have included is also already over there, but some of the language grammatical errors that I have made that I should work upon it. Otherwise, it is common. Both the conclusion were common.
Common, yeah.
Yes. So this kind of learning experience that I have, and while I promoting this kind of infographics, that it is not well well right by me also.
Okay. Yeah, fine. So infographics, this will not work. For that, you have to go to mind mapping, another AI tool you have to use to see that how this question can be written infographically. So for that, another tools. This is only for text generation. This tool is only for text and improving writing skills. So you see grammar somewhere you can enhance, and content wise it is giving you the same thing.
Also, it's just telling me to add the symbols which I have mentioned in this infographic in conclusion also. So it's just suggesting me that keep it longer, bit longer, because my handwriting is so bigger, so it is looks like big, but in a way just 1 to 3 lines. So just have to write all the symbols in this, and the points otherwise are comments. That's my help.
Okay, good. So, yeah. Is here going on well, everything?
I have a question. First, I have asked ChatGPT to write this, also giving the grade of CEFR guidelines, and also prompting the also write the developed version of my answer. So in two versions, it has given me answer. In second prompt, it has like all the answer, and the first one it is only given what type of improvement you have to do.
Okay.
So in this form, do I have to include both of the things or just an answer that I get?
No, both also you can give. Both, no problem if you give both the responses.
How do you see ever writing? Would they add infographics in
No, it won't be
so
infographic.
while we are writing for a university paper, so is it recommended to add infographics?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is good idea to do that.
So at that place, we don't have to use this method of evaluating, right?
No, this tool will not evaluate infograph. For that, you have to use another tool. This is for writing. This tool are generative language, not pictures. For pictures, there are another one which can be used for that tool. But in overall answer, you have to add many things. This is to improve your writing, academic writing. Yes, and maybe you would like to share anything that I can come to you. So by the time you submit your responses to the online form, at the same time, orally also, if you want to tell about your learning outcome, then we can record your things here. Yes.
Initially, when I gave prompt to ChatGPT, it gave me a very neutral answer that how should I improve my writing skills. That if I would be asking to another human being or a fellow classmates or any teacher, they would give me their ideas and thoughts. That how should I improve, and I will directly impose them upon myself. But rather, it gave me a neutral thought that how should I improve my language and how should I compose all the answer and how improvement is necessary while and rechecking how can I analyze my for
Do
myself.
self-assessment.
Yes, self-assessment was also easily by using that.
Okay. So one thing you may also get a chance to get some neutral answer rather than this. Though people have identified that AI tools also have biases. They are not completely neutral. They also work like human biases. That also sometimes you may see. Sometimes we find it is neutral. At times we may also see it has also some kinds of biases in their answers also. Yes. Anybody else would like to share the experience?
You can come down now if you are able to listen in the lab. You are not able to listen. Okay, so we have received 8 responses so far. So now you start completing and submitting your responses also. Okay, so everybody's down from the lab. Just a minute. Let me come to you.
So the final round we will take for your feedback. Finally, so those who want to say something that you can take, we will record this, the final learning outcome of this activity. We can also read what you have given there. In case orally, if you don't want to speak, then also you can read the things. Yes.
The wasting
Sound is this is the sound is just I'm not able to listen. Is it going? It's going. Yeah.
the basic evolution. Like when I read my conclusion, conclusion part was there too, in my part. When I read my own conclusion, I was not very satisfied. That ChatGPT will evaluate very badly. That it will give a very bad response to me. That your answer is not proper and all these things. But to my surprise, it gave me a good grade. That your answer is quite okay, and you can. That is how you can improve. And it gave me the whole conclusion. But not so like I was I was in the imagination that it will very evaluate, but it did not.
Okay. Okay, fine. So somewhere it seems like it is when you ask that I am student and it is acting like a teacher. So teacher would not like to discourage the learner by telling the truth, but to motivate the student will say that well it is good, this much is fine, and now you can do this as an improvement also. Yes, who else would like to share the learning outcome? That is the final part of this. So in the Google form you might have given, but something orally if you want to say, then it is open. Okay, yes, let me take him first. Yes.
Overall, I would say it was like a great opportunity for me to learning how to enhance my writing style by my own. Now I can, whenever I want to learn something new, I can do through the tools. And whenever I want to write something, especially for like formal way, I can also use these AI tools to enhance my writing skills. And we can also, as we have discussed, like the bands we want for like want to go to pass through the foreign university and that IELTS and types of things. So we can also see the what are the level that we have to get through for passing that type of exams, and also the university exam, what type of things it is expected from the PG level students. So we can improve our skills. We also can learn new vocabulary through AI tools, and we can enhance our writing skill. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there are lots of this donkey flight things, passing IELTS and going foreign country. That is the theme of the upcoming film, Donkey, where in one of the posters you might have seen the people holding IELTS books also. So what is the level of English that is required if you want to learn on your own without the help of any human teacher, or to take guidance from the renowned teachers by paying high fees? Then now you have a way that, well, this way I can work out to see that how the language can be improved for IELTS, TOEFL, CEFR level also. What you can do is for CEFR guidelines also, you will find the summary from internet. You can first give to the AI tool that first study this guidelines. You can tell this prompt, study the guidelines, give the guidelines. And then you tell that based on these guidelines, now tell me how can I improve my writing and give your writing and see that. If you get another guidelines apart from CEFR, then give that guideline first. So first, train the machine. Train the machine. So you have to train the machine that I want you to do this. First, you do this. Give them the lesson. Teach them. And then ask them, now you tell me how I need to improve. So there are the prompts, which is how you can utilize maximum out of AI tools. So teaching the machine is important. From what you want to learn, teach, and then you ask.
When I'm using
The sound is going properly in the YouTube sound.
when I'm using ChatGPT to respond me of my questions, and I regenerate the questions from 7 to 8 times. And when I at that time I have regenerated the question at that time, there is one box type of thing coming in, and it shows me which type of response you like most. And if I select this response, it's according to my question and that I want. So after that, it's try to follow this type of pattern for my further questions and responses. And when we are using new chat for new prompt, and if I use continue the same thing at the same chat, answers that we are getting, it's according to the older question. So in this prompt, I have using new chat for the most both prompt. So I have getting different kind of answer, and if I have continuing the same chat, then at that time also I have got different kind of answer from the chat.
Yes, yeah, quite true. So that way you learn how the machine also is functioning. If you continue the thread, then it will give the answer in context of the previous responses, so that it will maintain the thread. But if you want to new, then start a new thread, start a new chat always. So we learn the language of machines, how the machines are operating. That also we learn here. Yes, anybody else would like to share anything? Yes, you wanted to say?
Sir, during this activity of analyzing answer according to Bloom's CEFR guidelines, from like ranging our answers from D1 to C2 level, uh, we all utilize ChatGPT, and I also do use ChatGPT in my like writing blogs and other academic writings. And what the change I have found in my writing is that during like writing my answers, I have used certain words that I didn't use before, and that had a greater impact on writing my answers. And the prompt that the answer that I given to the ChatGPT to write according to this CEFR guidelines, it showed me that your answer is more above B1, sorry, B2, and below C2 level. So, like what I have felt that the words that is being generated by ChatGPT, they are recurrent in a certain way. So the mental process of our human mind is that we capture the word which comes recurrent, and many times it differs as well. And when we are talking about this one-to-one tutoring method, so it may seem impossible or even challenging to improve in a traditional mode. But when it comes to the AI tools like ChatGPT, it like transforms into an effective one-to-one tutoring, and offer it does not only offer students the guidelines how to improve, but also not only give the sample but rather give the whole of that answer, what the best way to write that particular answer. So I have, throughout this learning process, I have like learned so many things, like improving from grammar to the high level of writing the interpretive part of my answer.
Okay, good. So CEFR and Bloom's things are different. CEFR is a common European framework for the language for the non-native speakers of English language, those who are learning as a second language. For them, there are this global guidelines, common European framework. And Bloom is giving this taxonomy, and here we have this another idea about 2 sigma principle, wherein one-to-one tutoring can be done. That was always seen as a huge gap. But now people see that AI tool can fill that gap of one-to-one tutoring can be. So if you teach students how best you can use the AI tool along with your traditional learning, it's not replacement of the traditional learning. It is, in this activity, we are not replacing handwriting, oral handwriting. It is very much there. So you have lots of papers here where you have handwritten the things. So this is very important where you work. And now you are using a supplementary tool to do self-assessment. Teachers are doing, but teachers cannot satisfy everything. Line by line, everything cannot be read. Each and every line cannot be corrected by teacher. That this is not the correct sentence. This should be the correct sentence. So it is nearly impossible for teachers to correct each and every word and guide you. In that capacity, AI tool comes as a support, as a help to the thing. And then we can see that the gap of one-to-one tutoring might be filled by such AI tools so far as language things are concerned. Academic writing is concerned, language generation is concerned, writing skills are concerned. In that concern, this all thing, this can be very useful tool also. Anybody else would like to share anything?
Okay, so then let us conclude the thing. So far, we have received around uh, 26 responses. Let me share a screen to have an overview just. Okay? So the work that you have done, you were also asked to fill the form about your work, wherein you might have given the photograph or PDF copy of your responses. First, that was handwritten one. That you have with the ChatGPT tool and give the answer. So you have given your responses also here. And after giving the responses, you were asked this kind of questions, whether in this capacity, do you see any improvement as a part of learning outcome? And in different things you have said, that enhanced writing skills, which is getting that 100% feedback. 28 of you have given so far. Self-reflection skills, grammar and syntax mastery, which is very important part. Writing skills is all about as correct as possible writing that we do in any language that we work, English language or whichever language we are working with. And then you have given some open-ended responses also. And this last one also, as I told earlier, that when you, how do you apply what you learn, which is very important part, quickly applying. So even for the small feedback that you have to give at the end of the things, there also you can ask ChatGPT to help you. So you give your words, your ideas, and then you ask to frame it properly or suggest you something. So very important, your idea is that you're not borrowing everything from the machine. Then it is useless, or we can say it is a wrong use of machine. If you are, but you give something and then say that make it concise, make it better, how better way I can say this. Now, what you want to say is your idea. How to say is a different skill. Sometimes people may have a good idea, but they don't know how to articulate that idea. Idea is very important, and how to is secondary. Now, this how to is where the machine works. Machine so far will not give you your own idea or the idea that you want to express. So somewhere people find the gap, that what I want to say and what machine is telling, there is some gap still. What is that gap? Fill with your idea, and then let the other part be done by the machine. So nowadays, today's news about Google Gemini is there. It tells that it will start giving new ideas also, or there is this concept of Q star. Q star, and people say under Q star, it will give innovative ideas also, like human brain, which is capable of generating new ideas. That is called natural intelligence, which is capable of new ideas. And artificial intelligence can give you what is already given to them. What is given to the servers, they will give. So it will recycle the information, the ideas, the concepts, but it cannot give you new idea because it doesn't have new idea. But now people say with Gemini or Q star, it will start giving new ideas also. And this is just the beginning phase of AI. And in the coming decades, everything that we think machine cannot do, perhaps will be done by the machine. We'll keep on raising concerns and questions, but this may happen. But here our concern is this much, that I want to learn the best writing skills. I want to improve my writing, and I do consult human beings. I go to one teacher to another teacher. I show my writing and tell that let me improve the writing. I can do human consultancy to improve my writing. Now here there is another option, that I can do machine consultancy also. I can ask machine now instead of human. Going to human is not wrong. When you go from one human to another human, people will say that you are very hardworking. Now you don't have to travel from human to human. You travel from machine to machine. You go to ChatGPT, then to Claude, or to Bing, or to Bard, and then you ask that where I am getting satisfactory responses. Let me get that. So it is mythically, it is like earlier we were doing the work of Karthikeya, moving around the world. Now we are becoming Ganesh. That parents, let me move around parents only. That is my world. What is my world? The bet was to go across the world. Karthikeya went on across the world. Whether you want to be Karthikeya or Ganesh, it is up to you now. You can make a choice, but there is now something in your pocket which can help you a lot in doing one-to-one tutoring also. Okay, so with this we end our session here, and wish you all the best for your university exams.